Okay, so last week I did a video on birth control pills and the effects they have on your thyroid gland, and why, if you suffer with hypothyroid symptoms like weight gain and brain fog, depression, anxiety, fatigue, that your birth control pills was not helping out your thyroid. I explained 3 ways that birth control pills interfere with thyroid function. Well, I received an overwhelming response. Many of my YouTube subscribers asked if I would do a video detailing more about the effects that the pill has on the gut. And so today and over the next couple of videos in this series, I want to share with you several ways that not only birth control pills affect gut function, but also how things like fertility shots and IUDs and other forms of hormonal replacement just wreak havoc on your entire digestive system. In each video, I'll be going through and taking you through this connection between the pill and gut dysbiosis, the pill and gut inflammation, how the pill causes leaky gut. I'll talk about how the pill affects gallbladder function. I'll also spend some time talking about how things like small intestinal bacterial overgrowth and how liver function is all compromised and affected by the pill. And so all of these topics are going to be covered along with some suggestions on what you can do moving forward. Also, if at any time you want more personalized recommendations, I recommend that you go visit my website, and there's a Start tab here, okay, a Start Here tab rather. You can submit a health questionnaire, and within about 30 minutes, you will get some recommendations that'll be more specific to what your needs are, what your goals are, the kind of help that you're looking for. And so if we jump right into today's video, again, talking about antibiotics for just a moment, everybody's familiar with the damaging effects of antibiotics, right? And for this reason, many people will take a probiotic. It makes sense, right? And the hope is that by taking this probiotic, you're going to be minimizing some of the damaging effects that are caused by antibiotics, and that's great. But have you ever given thought about using probiotics because you're on a synthetic hormone like the pill, or you've had years of fertility shots, or you've experienced difficulty trying to get pregnant, and you underwent fertility shots, or you've had a hormonal IUD in for several years, okay? But these are things that we don't typically think of, right? That's not what we think of in terms of gut health, right? We don't think about the connection between probiotics and the pill that you took years and years ago, right? What's the connection there? Well, I hope after watching today's series, and really just watching the entire video series here, you're going to start thinking differently about the pill and its connection to your gut health and all the things that gut health is really connected to, either directly or indirectly. If you are a woman and you are taking the pill because you have hormonal imbalances, you may be also very surprised to learn that improving your gut health and digestive function could be one of the keys to correcting your hormonal imbalance. So with that said, let's kind of really jump into this. Reason number 1, how the pill and other forms of unnatural hormones wreck your gut is something called dysbiosis, right? Oral contraceptives change, reduce, and alter the kinds of bacteria that are part of this gastrointestinal microbiome that is unique to you. That's right, taking the pill wrecks your gut microbiome. I've yet to see a research paper that shows that taking the pill does the opposite, that it improves gut microbiome and it improves gut health, right? Just the opposite is taking place. Now, the gut microbiome is like a rainforest, right? It's teeming with all different kinds of bacterial and fungal species, and hopefully this microbiome, there's a harmony that exists there. There's a lush cohabitat of bacteria and fungal species, all hopefully playing nice. It's said that there's over 10 times as many bacteria living in your gut as there are human cells. And so if we were to imagine a 200-pound person, that's almost 6 pounds of bacteria inside your gut, inside your intestines. Now, there are many different kinds of bacteria that live in your gut, and each of these bacteria are very important in their own way. Some serve as functions such as B vitamins. We're going to talk all about that, but for the most part, they all have different functions. And when one is thrown off, it often has a domino effect on many, many others, right? So every year we eat several tons of food. Well, the bacteria in your gut, their purpose is to talk to the immune system and help our immune system determine and recognize if the food we just ingested is a friend or a threat. Well, it does the same thing with things that we breathe in through our respiratory and mucosal pathways. If your immune system recognizes a certain food or a certain chemical found in, let's say, plastic, like something called bisphenol A, that it doesn't like, it will tell certain immune system cells to attack that particular chemical. And in that process, and in some people, this immune reaction can set off an autoimmune response. Now, an example of this would be someone who eats wheat, and that goes on to cause something known as celiac disease. Now, think about that just for a moment. For all of you out there who are suffering with either food sensitivities or chemical sensitivities and even autoimmune diseases, disruptions in those bacteria, again, dysbiosis, are now being shown to be caused by your body's overreaction to these chemicals and foods that you once upon a time never had a problem with. Now, are you finding that you're becoming increasingly sensitive to foods that you never experienced a reaction to, foods that are healthy for you, right? Are you finding that you're becoming more or increasingly sensitive to certain shampoos or lotions or perfumes? Does the exposure to these chemicals or foods cause things like headaches and brain fog and eczema and asthma, or even changes in your mood? Right? If you said yes to all these things, in immunology we refer to this as immune tolerance. And your immune system is losing tolerance to the world that you live in. And that's a huge problem. And this loss of immune tolerance can be traced back to the birth control pill and the dysbiosis that the pill can cause. Now let me show you a quick test that I ran on a patient who was struggling for the last 15 years with many different health problems, many kinds of hormonal imbalances and depression and anxiety, an assortment of symptoms related to both the upper and lower GI system. And if you look at this test, what you'll notice is that along the left side, we have many different kinds of bacteria that we expect to see populating the gut. These are the ones that belong there, right? We call these commensal bacteria. Not only are they supposed to be there, but we also expect them to be there at a certain level, or really a certain threshold. Now, in this particular patient, most of those black diamonds are on the very low end, right? Now, this kind of bacteria and the quantity or the threshold that we see them in obviously can predispose an individual to developing diseases like inflammatory bowel disease or infectious colitis. You know, both of these inflammatory bowel diseases have actually been associated with the pill and the dysbiosis that it causes. But that's not all your microbiome does. You see, the health of your microbiome extends far beyond the gut to things like metabolic disorders, right? Things like heart disease, things like thyroid problems, things like metabolic syndrome, diabetes, cholesterol disorders, asthma, skin conditions, eczema, psoriasis, rosacea, right? We see all these things showing up in studies. We also see studies showing mental health is tied into the gut microbiota. So in other words, things like depression and schizophrenia, anxiety, bipolar. And if you're a person struggling with weight or obesity, you can't lose weight no matter what you do. Studies have also shown a connection between an imbalance between certain bacteria, certain gram-negative and gram-positive bacteria. Our microbiome also protects us from bacteria and viruses that we ingest, right? They help with the absorption of nutrients. They provide energy to our body. Several bacterial species are common in the distal intestines. Bacteria like Bacteroides and Bifidobacterium, Enterococcus species. These good bacteria are also known to make many different kinds of B vitamins. Things like B1 and B2 and B5, folate, biotin. So we can have problems in making B vitamins caused by birth control pills, right? Do you ever feel run down? Do you feel fatigued? Do you feel inflamed? Do your joints hurt? Brain fog? Do you feel depressed, right? Do you ever experience hair thinning or hair breakage, right? Do your nails break often, right? This could be due to a deficiency in one or more of the B vitamins that I just mentioned. So as you can see, changes in this microbiome have enormous consequences in almost every aspect of health. And that really means even your health in the next 10 or 20 years. You know, about 12 weeks ago, I began working with a patient who was diagnosed with fibromyalgia. She's lived in constant pain for about 10 years, maybe a little bit longer. She's had lots of different kinds of symptoms related to the gut, and so I ran several different kinds of tests on her to really begin to understand the health of her gut. And we identified not only a bacterial overgrowth in her small intestines, but a whole host of other problems, right? Well, what we did with her is we changed her diet. We used a very specific protocol that I developed based on her tests. And at her 12-week follow-up that she had with me, the constant pain that she had been suffering with 10 years was almost gone, right? She reported a 90% improvement in her pain. Now, this is a woman who's literally been on all kinds of pain pills day in and day out just to deal with the pain. 90% better by working on the gut and improving her diet. So this is not the 1 in 100 cases that respond like this. I have hundreds of cases like this, and I'm sure doctors who practice the way I do can also attest to that. I had another lady who just had a follow-up for the last 6 or 8 months that she had burning pain in her hip. She had I believe it was a 12-week follow-up, and she had constant burning pain in her hip. She had neck pain, she had shoulder pain, she had x-rays, she had MRIs, she had gone through weeks of physical therapy, no change in her pain levels. If anything, she was actually just a little bit worse. Doctors have no idea what to do with her, right? So they prescribed her more pain pills. Well, she was referred to me by a friend. We found a few different kinds of bacterial infections that, bacteria that didn't belong there. She worked with one of my nutritionists. We developed a GI protocol with several different kinds of antimicrobials. In a period of 3 months, she's sleeping better, she's pain-free, she's back to doing yoga, she's back to going for daily walks. Again, the microbiome is a huge, huge area. And the reason I share these two cases with you is really just to illustrate that even things like pain can be tied back to the microbiome. And see, the pill not only affects the gut, causing dysbiosis, it also affects women's vaginal flora. So just like there is a gut flora or a microbiome in the gut, there's also the vaginal tract flora. So the vaginal tract has a microbiome all of its own. And disruption to the vaginal microbiome can cause things like vaginal yeast infections. So birth control pills, patches, vaginal rings, some IUDs all contain a combination of estrogen and progestin. And it's these synthetic hormones that throw off your body and disrupt your body's natural balance of estrogen and progesterone and testosterone. And in this wake, causing major disharmony throughout the body. They create the perfect condition for things like candida, which is a fungus, and other kinds of bacteria to flourish and overgrow. Pharmaceutical companies make billions of dollars a year selling you birth control pills and then selling you the Monistat and other kinds of medications to treat the burning and the itch and the odor that's being caused by the pill and the infection that the pill just caused. And so if you're on the pill, and kind of like just wrapping up today's video, I hope that you have a better appreciation for your gut microbiome and why it's so important. I also hope that you're starting to see the connection here between the synthetic hormones like the ones seen in the pill and in gut dysbiosis and the aftermath and the problems that these pills and these synthetic hormones cause, right? We need to get back to the root cause of healthcare. We need to restore health. It's not about manipulating hormones and the biochemistry with medications. It's not about raising levels and lowering levels. It's not about understanding. It's about what it really is. It's really about understanding why those levels might be low or imbalanced. What kind of health do you want to have in the next 5, 10, or 20 years? Well, what you're doing right now might be wrecking your gut. And the reason I throw that question out there is what you do today is setting the stage for your future health. Right? If you're a person who thinks proactively, then it's time to start thinking about all the things that you're doing right now collectively that are affecting your gut health and perhaps your future. If you do that in the years to come, your gut and your body will thank you. So that's going to wrap up today's video on the pill and gut dysbiosis. If you are already struggling with GI symptoms and you need some help, again, I'll leave a link at the bottom of the page where, again, you can submit that health questionnaire, get recommendations on where I suggest that you start in order to start regaining your health. Again, I hope that you're going to tune in to the next video where I'll be talking about how the pill causes gastrointestinal inflammation. You definitely don't want to miss that. If you or someone you know has Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis or some other inflammatory bowel disease. So until then, take care.